Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Women Like Me. You are in for a fabulous, fantastic treat. I'm just like, I can't even sit still. I'm so excited. Jaya Rose is with us today. And if you have not heard from her, you're going to know who the hell she is by the time we're done. And she's fabulous. So let me just give you a quick little bit about her bio so that you get a feel for who she is. And then we're going to dive in and discover this lady if you don't know who she is. I'm just so excited. Okay, calm down, Julie, calm down. Okay, here we go. So Jaya Rose is a free-spirited, reggae-lovin, hustle-free business coach. She helps impact-driven coaches and leaders share their message with people who need it and buy from them without working overtime in their business. She believes that in this life, you can either follow the rules or create your own. She will help you pave your own path, pursue your greater purpose, and create a coaching business with a massive impact. So that is just a little brief, a little brief bit about Jaya. So welcome, Jaya. I've known you for such a long time, and I just appreciate you so much that you're willing to come on and chat to our audience about how they can help themselves and make some money and do better and all of those kinds of things. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I love that, the type of people where you reconnect and you're like, we don't have to discuss everything that's ever happened since the last time I saw you. I feel like we're really that way. Like we can just pick up where we left off and where we are now. And hello.
That's right. Yes. I would like to mention though, that in, I think it was 2016 or 2017.
Yeah.
Jaya had a program called Rock Your Video. And I took that. And that actually really helped. Now, I know it was more for Facebook stuff, but it really helped me because back then I was still going strong in real estate. And because of that program I took, I actually started making videos that where I was actually talking to my real estate customers and audience. So
That's amazing.
It. Yeah, and that's where I kind of got going. So and here I am, all these years later, doing.
And here we are on video together.
Yes, yes.
That's awesome. That's a real testament to knowing that what you're doing is going to have a lasting effect and that you never really know the impact or the ripple effect, because I didn't know that. I mean, that program was maybe $1,000 at the time, which is, you wouldn't think, well, that would change your life forever, but in a way it did. And that, I mean, that is so freaking cool. I love hearing that.
Yes. Yeah. So I peeked around at you, and I didn't really have to peek around at you because I've been following you for a number of years, but holy cow, girl, you have a lot of stuff going on TikTok. 46,000 followers.
Yes. Yeah. I know. It's cool.
Yeah. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Like how you, because you used to focus on the Facebook stuff, and then you sort of, looks like you transferred more over to TikTok. So you want to give us a bit of an idea of what's going on with you?
Yeah. Well, I have a daughter who's 26, and I pretty much follow in her footsteps because she has a really huge brand online. She's a web designer and teaches other people how to be. And so she was using TikTok a little over 2 years ago. She only had been on for a little over a month, I think, already had thousands of followers, and was like, Mom, what are you doing on Facebook, on your personal page, acting like you want this big business and big impact, but you're just kind of hiding, I'm like, oh, thanks. Thanks for the wake up call. And it was true, but I was really afraid, which is so interesting because I do have the confidence to be on video, and it wasn't that particular fear. I honestly think it was the fear, one, of just doing something new and not being really good at it. I like to be really good at stuff I do. So I was afraid to get started. But it was actually my birthday. So I'm 46 now. So it was my 44th birthday. And she had me over and she said, Mom, let me just film a few TikToks of you. I think she filmed 6 or 7. She did it all where she wrote on the screen. We kind of concepted it together, but then she put it together. 2 out of those 6 videos went viral. And for business, that's like 80,000 views, not 100 million, but still it's like mini viral, right? And I got 1,000 followers overnight. Within the first
Wow.
3 weeks, I had like 3,000 followers, and it was just really wild to me and also really exciting. I think
For
it's what I had
sure.
been wanting for a long time, but hadn't really allowed myself to ask for it and to really put myself in it. And I was like, well, now I'm doing it.
Wow. Wow. Well, we can learn things from the younger generation.
And then I teach it. I mean, within
Yes.
2 months, I hosted my first launch your brand on TikTok workshop because
Yeah.
this is what I do. I learn, I teach, I learn, I teach.
Yes.
And that has now become a big part of my business, where a lot of people want to learn how to do short form video from me,
Yes.
because not only did I do it and have success with it, but I also have sales. I mean, I think I've brought in on just under $400,000
Wow.
from selling, basically from leading people from short form video to freebies. And, I have a whole, it's a system,
Yes, of
business
course.
systems. It's not just like straight from video, but it
Yes.
is from video.
Yes. Yeah. No. Wow. That's yeah, that's amazing that's amazing. So are there any little tips or anything that you want to share with us about what we can do without giving away the farm?
I mean, I'll give the farm away. That's fine. I
Okay,
also have
perfect.
I have a program, Magnetic on Camera, which I keep pretty low cost because I really do want people to have
Yeah,
this info. And then I just share all the info anyway.
yeah,
But the key thing is really knowing who you're talking to and being willing to be niched. Because I think that that's the confusing thing about TikTok. When you get on and you start scrolling around, you
yeah.
see so many different things, and you see a
Right,
lot of things that are probably not in your niche and
right.
not what you would talk about. So it's easy to think, well, then what should I do? Because this is not what I'm not seeing a representation of what I do. And so that's why I think it's really important to discover your niche, be true to your niche, and be willing to talk to a specific group of people versus trying to get on there and talk to everybody, because that just doesn't work. And I think that's the thing I did really well from the beginning was I was a business coach. I was
Yeah,
telling people how they could grow their business through branding, storytelling, and having offers that are really impactful. And that is what I've done the entire time. So actually 50,000, I think I'm at 48.7 or something today.
mm-hmm.
And that's actually not that many for TikTok. A lot of people that have been on there 2 years have 1 million followers. It is
Wow.
just really common because if you post as much as I do, you go viral. It just will happen. But
Yeah,
my stuff is so niched. It's really only for coaches. I mean, I do actually have a lot of realtors who follow me because I think
yeah,
my tips are helpful for that. But anyone who wants to have an online brand with a
mm-hmm.
service, a service-based
Mm-hmm.
business. And so, um, yeah, staying niched has helped me make more money, I believe, but it hasn't
Mm-hmm.
helped me become like a mega influencer.
Well, I think you hit the nail on your head there when you said niche, because so often, like I've got 32 years in real estate, so I'm going to refer to realtors. So often we go into real estate, and of course there's buyers, there's sellers, there's seniors, there's boomers, there's investors, there's the
Yeah.
wealthy people. Like there's all these different people, and we, of course, want all those people to
Yeah.
work with. But really, if we're trying to reach all of those people, we're not reaching any of them,
Yeah.
because each one of those people require different services. And if you,
Totally.
yeah, and so you make so much sense. People want to do that, but what they don't realize is that pick the one that you think is that you resonate with, your personality resonates with. You're going to be more successful with that person because you're going to align with them and attract them to you, and then start to spread out a
Yep.
bit.
Yep. Absolutely. And that comes down to messaging, which is a big part of what I help people with. Messaging within your videos is really, really important, as it's equal to your energy. I mean, your energy is important too, because you could be sharing a message and just be like, you know, like,
I
or just,
know.
you know, being really low energy, and that's not going to captivate someone's attention. But what you're
Mhm.
saying really needs to matter. And I'll just give you one example. So my particular brand of business, which you spoke to in my bio, is, you know, I call myself the free-spirited, reggae-loving, hustle-free business coach, because that is true. And I want people to know that right off the bat. So I'm not trying to hide my values. I'm not hiding my personality. What I care about, what I stand for is all up front. Because when somebody clicks through, and actually it's funny because I'm launching my brand new website today. I don't know if
Woo!
I'm doing a coaching giveaway, which is really exciting. So anyway, I'll have to send you here. But my
Yes.
point is that when you get to my website, the first thing it says is helping impact-driven leaders create heart-led, hustle-free coaching empires. Heart over hustle, people over profit. So
Right.
if somebody comes to that and
Mhm.
but I've been talking about make $50,000 in 10 minutes. Who cares if you're screwing people over? Just make the money. You know what I mean? If I was like representing myself, even though I can help people make money, but if I were to put that in a way that is unethical or something, right? People are going to come here and they're just not going to understand. It's like I'm speaking gibberish.
Right.
So you really want to draw as many of the people to you who absolutely speak your language and you
Mhm.
speak theirs. And that's cohesion.
Well, we now have 9 billion people on the planet, if I'm not mistaken. So there is, you know what? There's somebody for everybody.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
believe you, you know, I believe what you say. It's just be yourself, put your values out there,
Yes.
and sincerely want to be of service to people. And the right people
Absolutely.
will come your way.
Or if not, be shady. If you're shady, be shady up front.
Yeah,
You know what I
up
mean?
front,
Because then
up
you're
front. Yeah, don't hide it.
be shady up front, because I would
Yeah.
rather know than than hire you to be my realtor and you start trying to do unethical shit while we're closing or we're making our
Yes.
offer. I would
Yes.
have liked to known that beforehand.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think that I mean, I just love what we're talking about here, because I do think that people want to think like this, but they really need to think like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's that's the key.
It is. I mean, I think that your business is going to do better and your energy is going to be more sustained, because especially I talk about some controversial things. I'm really big in being a disruptor in my industry, calling out the things that are unethical, even in the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual world where a lot of people tend to gaslight other people's feelings. And I tend to have a lot of spiritual people who come into my business. If I were to attract people who were on that. I mean, this happened in the wellness community. The pipeline to QAnon was heavy. And I called that out, which people would be like, you're a business coach. Why are you talking about politics? Right. And it's like, this is not politics. These are values. And
Yes.
I do not want someone who is a QAnon believer coming into my coaching program. That would just disrupt everything about the safety of the community I'm building. And so I
Yes.
think that there is that level of like, it will serve you so much to be really clear about who you are and who you want to align yourself with.
So if you have someone come to you, then Jaya, that maybe just starting out, and they're not really sure, or they've got
Yeah.
an idea in their head, but they're confused. They're not really sure what they should be up to. Like, how can you take them through that process to clarity?
Yeah. I mean, I will say I'm not really good at that.
Oh, okay.
When people come to me and they're like, can you help me figure out what I want to do? I'm like, no,
Okay.
go
No.
do that. Because I don't have the experience in that. I have always known what I wanted to do. And I just make decisions really quickly. And so the advice I would give anybody who is not clear is that you are and you're being unclear because you're not taking action towards what feels like the spark. And so I believe that, and there's the whole, like, I have too many things. It's like, but there is something that you gravitate towards most.
Right.
There is, I think it's more that you're probably being influenced by a lot of different ideas and people. And so let's
And
start to quiet the noise.
and fear.
Right. Yeah. And fear. So yeah. I think that I don't know what to do. I'm confused is it's an indicator of fear. And my work in particular doesn't do really well for people who are in that phase.
Yeah. Well, I would say you're teaching people and helping them to get to be visible.
Yeah.
And if you're in fear, that's probably not going to be comfortable for
you. Or if
you.
you don't know what you want to talk about, right?
Yes,
because
yes.
You've got to own the value of your voice and your message so much to be effective on video.
Yes.
And we can't look for outside validation for someone to say, oh yeah, that's really powerful, right? We need to know that it's powerful as we're doing it. That is more the work that needs to be done if you're not certain or you're feeling unclear about what to say.
Well, that's powerful. That was good. Thank you for that. That clicked in my head for me. So I appreciate that too. Yeah, I understand what you're saying for sure. And so when someone comes to you and they are clear,
yeah,
how are you able to help them then when they know, okay, this is what I want to do. How do I do it?
Yep. Yeah. Well, the cool thing about I like TikTok, but people can do short form video on all the platforms now, like literally every platform, including Pinterest, YouTube,
right,
Instagram, Facebook. And so anywhere that you are, the key, it's really a simple formula, and it's hook. You're going to have 3 seconds to hook somebody in. And so you're imagining somebody scrolling and they scroll to you and they might give you 3 seconds. They might. Or they might see that your room is dark and they scroll on, someone might not even give you 3 seconds. And I think that is a real wake-up call to recognize. And that's why it's important for you to be confident, important for you to know what you're talking about, who you're talking to, because that you can't really nail 3 seconds of something unless you're really certain about what you're talking about. Yes. So I actually have a freebie, which I'm happy to offer everybody, but it's 12 hooks that get you booked. And it's just prompts for 12 different hooks that you can do. For example, how to. And so that it's really great to add how to. So if you were going to say, how to attract buyers in your marketplace who are ready to close the deal. Maybe that would be the language, right? So instead of just saying like, if you're wanting people to come to you who can, and using all these extra words, we would just create a hook. It's literally like a title for your video. So how to attract buyers who are ready to close the deal. Here's 3 tips. Ready? Buckle up. And you're like, oh, right. We hooked them in. We told them what we're going to tell them. And then we go forward with the content.
Yes. Perfect. I hear what you're saying for sure, because I'm one of those people who,
it's easy too.
Too many words, but definitely I get it. And that is super helpful. Well, if you would like to send me that link, when we're done, that would be perfect. And I will make sure that as well as your bio and anybody that wants to contact Jaya, I'll have all of her links down there, but also the link to the freebie we'll throw in there as well, on the YouTube and also on the podcast that we'll have it on. And so anybody can, I'm going to get it.
No, it's so good. It's helpful. I mean, it's, years of trial and error that I compiled into 12 hooks. It's like, you might as well cut the learning curve, because that truly is a huge part. And then obviously you want to be giving good value. The cool thing about TikTok and about editing short video is that you can edit it. That's unlike what I started teaching, which was Facebook Live, and you cannot edit that. You're just going for it. Totally different. But you just need to be prepared to cut cut shit out. Like, it's okay if you ramble on. And actually, I think a really cool way to film a video is to put it, you can click 3 minutes. Like, it's like 15 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes. I always click the longer one so that I can say more and then cut down. So sometimes I'll just have something on my mind and I'll put on my camera and just start talking. I'll try and nail a hook so that I have that at the beginning, but then I'll just say what I want to say. And then I go back through and I literally edit out more than half of it. And I just I'm like, yeah, I already said that point. What we tend to do is reiterate our point. We do that all the time. We'll say something and then we'll summarize what we just said, and then we'll reiterate it again. And that's fine in communication, in conversation. It's not fine on a short form video. If you already said, your number one tip is you need to put yourself in the right places where I'm kind of going off the little idea I already had, right? Like the buyers who are ready to close the deal. You have to put yourself in the places where those people are. If you say something like it again, cut it out. So I think that's a really great tip, is just that you got to say each thing one time. The other thing is short form video loops. So if your video is 30 seconds long and you only said one time each thing, you might feel like, well, I want to summarize it, or I want to say it a different way. The video is going to loop around, and the best thing for the algorithm and your videos is for them to be watched multiple times. So you do actually, that is a strategy to give a little bit less, because then someone needs to rewatch it or they need to favorite it. Like, a lot of people favorite my videos, which means that they can come back to it later. And that's because they didn't, it's impossible to get all the information in 30 seconds. And if you said one thing and then you don't repeat it, they got to go back through.
So are you sharing your TikTok videos on different platforms?
Yeah, I actually had signed up for a platform that shares called repurpose.io, which it is pretty cool. It was putting it on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Pinterest, but they didn't do anything. Like, they just fall flat on YouTube. I don't know. I think these other platforms want you to be originating your content from them. And so I just found that it didn't really work. So I do record my videos when I make them. So once it's all edited and I'm ready to publish it, I go back into the editor and expand it and screen record it so that I have the original, right? Without a watermark. And then I will put those on my Facebook profile, but I don't do all of them. Like, I'll do 2 a week, but I posted 10 on TikTok, right? So I'll just pick a couple, and then those go to Instagram from Facebook naturally. I mean, so.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So how long, so when somebody comes to you and they're interested in coaching with you, do you have several different coaching programs that you're offering to people these days, or is it just a one thing? What is it that, how, in what different ways can you help people?
Yeah. So I've actually redesigned my whole business in the last 4 months, which is wild. And I'm literally launching my website today. So, I'm going to pee my pants. It is so exciting. It's literally, it feels like a culmination of the entire time I've been online, which is 7 years, that I've really, I told my husband last night, it's like I took everything I was doing, I sort of like threw it up, and then I was like, I want that. I want that. I want to put this here. And I totally reorganized the whole thing. And I won't go into like in all the ways that I did that, because that's not the question you asked, but what I have basically 2 portions of my business. One is a home study version where people can take programs on their own. And then I have coaching. So for home study programs, I have something called Go To Coach, which is all about branding, niching, messaging, getting your first offers up and sold. Then I have Magnetic on Camera, which is all about short form video. And that one I love because it has actual outlines, hooks, scripts, how to really condense your message. And then it tells you how to practice it, which I think is the missing piece for a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah. And then I have coaching as well. So I do a breakthrough intensive with people who are just want one little bite-size breakthrough. And then I have one-on-one coaching, which I personalize and design, usually 4 to 6 months. And then I have a mastermind called Bold Moves, which is all about really elevating to that more like multiple 6-figure status with less work.
Yeah. Wow. You've got some valuable, awesome things that you're offering to people.
Oh my gosh.
Every single one of them, I'm just like, I should take that. I should take that. I should take that one.
Well, you're an easy person to sell to then.
Yeah. Well, I think, maybe I see the value.
Yeah.
I see the value in every one of those offerings that you have. But I think for people that, that aren't quite ready to jump into like the full-blown coaching program, I really like the one you were talking about, the first two you were talking about. Yeah. I thought that's a nice one for people to get their feet wet.
No, it's so great. And that's what I was missing for the last couple of years. I only ran a 6-month business academy, which was small groups, and I coached people through it. That was the only offer I had.
Yeah.
And I really, and it was $10,000, which is fine. It's worth that, but that limits a lot of people. There was a lot of people who I couldn't help. So I really took everything, put it into home study programs. And it's awesome because Go-To Coach is like $595, $597. And then Magnetic on Camera is $397. So it's like, it's so much more accessible. Then, the mastermind is $6,000. And that's, you get to coach with me. And so I just really like having a more equitable business that can serve more people and not have that limitation of, high ticket.
Yes, for sure. And I love that you're doing that, because there are a lot of people that as much as, I don't know, I don't want to say too much about other coaches and stuff, but as much as, pressuring
no, do
people. Okay. Well, pressuring people to go into high end and to go into debt, and they're not ready for that high end. Like they want, of course we all want that level, but but mentally, you need to be there to pay that money, because if you're going to be up there and you pay that money, but you're not up there here, you've just wasted your time, your money, and now maybe you're in debt on your credit card and you're still not making any money. So I love that there's options for people to go, like $397 for the Magnetic on Camera. Like that's a nice price point, nice value. And something that I think everybody needs in this day and time. Because if you're not being seen, you're dead. You got to be
true.
Seen. Yeah.
It's so true. And I know it's so hard for people. So I really take a heart-led approach where I recognize that it is hard, and it just, even though I tell you a strategy, you've got to do it. So I want to help you. I want to help you take the action. And that means you've got to include the big feelings that come up when you take the action.
Exactly.
Like I'm here for the big feelings too, because I understand them.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Jaya, I have really enjoyed our conversation, and I have really enjoyed learning more about how your business has grown and what you're offering people. And I was so happy to when you agreed to come on and talk with us, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling, and I have a lot of those folks that I know that are in my realm, and if there's anything that they can pick up from what you've said or any of your programs that might help them, I'm glad that I'm able to present that to them. And I know you, I like you, and I trust you, and so I'm so happy. I'm so happy to just present you to everybody, so that other people can hopefully advance themselves. You've got a lot of good things going on, and I really think the online camera stuff is so important for so many people.
It's true.
It holds us back. It's just the way of the world. There's not much we can do about it.
Oh, I know. I will just give this example as we close out, but I have coached a lot of different people, and a lot of people do come to me with the fear and with saying, I really want this, and, help me create my offers and help me be able to sell better. But here's the difference. I have had multiple people who already have big followings on TikTok, like 120,000 followers,
Yeah.
80,000 followers.
Yeah.
And they come to me and they need help on the monetizing part, on the creating the offer part. And
Right.
they already have the putting themselves out there part down, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those people have had astronomical success with the work
Wow.
that I help them do. Like first launch, $24,000. One gal quit her 9 to 5 and had a $30,000 month in her coaching business a few
Wow.
months in. And that is the power of having an audience.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
I've helped people with the exact same things and
Yeah.
they still aren't making money. And I actually take responsibility for that, because now that I've gone through it, I realize without that action towards being visible and you know, you can have all the clarity in the world. You can be the shiniest hidden gem, but you're hidden.
Yes. Yes.
And so it doesn't matter how shiny you are, because the light can't even reflect off of you.
Yes. In real estate, we have a saying, don't be a secret agent.
Yeah, exactly.
Because nobody needs a secret agent and they won't know how to find you.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing. Well,
Same
Jaya,
thing.
I just appreciate you being here, as I said. Now, everybody, Jaya is going to be sending me links, and there will be a link to her freebie in the details section. So you will want to grab that. I'm going to grab it. I'm getting that information for myself. I could use it, so don't hesitate to grab that from her. And if you think there's something that she can help you with, don't hesitate to reach out. She's a wonderful person, and I quite enjoy her. So thank you so much, Jaya, for being here, and we will chat with you again soon, I hope.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Hope to connect with you.
Okay, bye-bye.